All right, what to do, everybody? It's your boy LOG from Where There's Smoke. Gonna do a live stream here today with Mr. Joe Games in the building. Uh, talk about Trump's tariffs. Maybe the dire wolves being brought back from extinction, and I think I had Mike Malone's firing in the title, but a bunch of other topics.
All
We're just
right, what to
kind
do,
of.
everybody? It's your boy
Oh
LOG from
shit!
Where
Hold
There's
on.
Smoke.
Gonna do a live stream here today with Mr. Joe Games. All right. My bad. The audio started coming in the background. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna cover a bunch of topics, including the ones in the title. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. And what's up, Joey?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Mr. Joe Games, Joy Flex. Just want to say shout out LOG for having me on. And just another day, another dollar. We out here. We're going to talk about some very important topics. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and comment down below. Let us know what you want us to talk about.
Hell yeah. If anyone hasn't been to Joey's channel in a while, or y'all haven't never been, go check it out. He just went to Houston Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. He talks about his experience, and he's got a bunch of other playthroughs. That's the main theme of the channel, so y'all go check it out. And you want to say anything about Houston real quick, or if you want to talk about it for a little bit, or whatever you want to
Yeah, I
say?
had a lot of fun in Houston. It was cool. It was a very good experience. I did better than last time in Austin. Whenever I went out to play Yu-Gi-Oh in Austin, I'm only getting better and better. And soon, hopefully, you'll see me at top tables winning the thing and bringing home a giant prize card and flipping that hole for 3,000 and coming back a happy man. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, very competitive, real cool. Hopefully I can get LOG onto it. Hopefully I'll see him out there someday. And just yeah, man, I'm very blessed for being able to do all that and just have fun, just enjoy it for now, I guess.
Yeah, you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh forever, Joey.
Yeah, I mean, well,
I'm
we'll see
just
about
fucking
that.
around. We'll see about that. All right. Well, you want to start off with the tariffs? Do you have any what are your thoughts on it?
um, it's cool. It's different. I
It's
mean,
different.
they're getting on to. I mean, they do it to us. You know,
All the other
like
countries.
they're always fucking us over. So why not? It should be equal, just equal playing field. You feel me?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool.
Uh,
Stock markets are down. You know?
yeah, I think they bounced back today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What do you think about the tariffs just being like it's almost like a buzzword this past week? Like just tariff, 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 tariff. It's almost like a boogeyman or something. It's like taking on a
Like
life
with
of
the
its
P
own.
Diddy stuff,
Yeah, you
like
could.
with the P Diddy stuff, and like with the whenever Joe Rogan was in trouble, or
It's news, and I'm the newspaper man. When did Joe Rogan get in
yeah.
trouble?
I'm just saying, like whenever there's something going on with him, he'll like be the main point.
Yeah, yeah. Well, did you see that Netanyahu and Trump met to talk about tariffs?
Nah, I didn't.
All right, let's at least watch like the first 2 or 3 minutes, and there's like a few good things to take from that, and then we'll probably move on to other stuff. But yeah, I wanted to watch a little bit of this. And I just thought it was funny because like I was talking with my homie like last week at the end of last week about how just what we just said, like tariffs is becoming like the big thing and almost has like a life of its own. And then like a day or well, like 2 or 3 days later, Netanyahu and Trump are meeting to talk about tariffs. It's like okay, y'all just met like a month ago. Now y'all are back together. It's like so performative, you know. It's like y'all couldn't have figured that out like a month ago, you know. Anyway, here they are back in the White House again. It's almost like back in the saddle again. It's just like such a show. Like I don't know.
Secret Society.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to have a very, very special person. I've dealt with him for a long time, Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel. And we had lunch together, we had meetings together, along with his very capable staff. And I think we've come up to some pretty good solutions and conclusions. And we'll be working a little bit after this, and then I assume you're going back home.
Yes, sir.
This is a quick stop, in and out.
It's almost like he's trying to get him the hell out of there. Quick stop, in and out.
But we appreciate you being here, and we are a friend of Israel, as you know. I would say that I'm by far the best president that Israel has ever even thought of seeing.
The best they've ever even thought of. He's crooked.
And it's an honor to be so, and to be so thought of. Many friends in Israel. They are not in an easy area. It doesn't go easy, but we are helping them. And likewise, they've been helping us very much. And so we'll see how it all works out. But we had great discussions today, I think, on the obvious subject of Iran, and also the less obvious subject with respect to Israel, and that's trade. And I think the Prime Minister is going to tell you a little bit about trade and what they're doing for the United States. So I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
Benjamin, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mr. President. Thank you, Donald. Thank you.
What do you think about that handshake?
That was cute.
They say Trump likes to be the one to pull people to him and doesn't like to lose like a handshake. And then Netanyahu was the one like not letting go and pulling Trump towards him. It's crooked.
Mr. President, I want to first thank you for
What do you
inviting
think about this little model jet they got here?
What is that representing? Like,
I don't know. It's crooked.
it's weird.
me again to the White House. You've been a remarkable friend of the State of Israel. You stand by us. You're standing with us. You are a great, great champion of our alliance. And you actually do the things that you say you do. And I think that people respect that enormously. I certainly do, and the people of Israel do. And I think the Jewish people do as well. We just saw your representative in the Department of Justice fighting anti-Semitism, standing up for Israel in international forums. I just want you to know from the heart, it's deeply, deeply appreciated. As you said, we had the opportunity to talk today about many subjects. First, if I can mention tariffs, it's a subject of some interest today. I can tell you that I said to the President a very simple thing. We will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States. We intend to do it very quickly. We think it's the right thing to do. And we're going to also eliminate trade barriers, a variety of trade barriers that have been put up unnecessarily.
Here's the thing, Netanyahu, if you're such great friends of the United States and we always have each other's back and all this bullshit, why are there trade things in place with us right now from y'all? Why does it take this big meeting where y'all rubbing each other's backs and high-fiving and sucking each other's dicks about how great it's going to be? Why do y'all already have restrictions? You know what I mean?
Yeah, Jelly Bean.
We think it's the right thing to do. And we're going to also eliminate trade barriers, a variety of trade barriers that have been put up unnecessarily. And I think Israel can serve as
But you did that. You could have taken them down any time that you've been in power, BB.
a model for many countries who ought to do the same. I recognize the position of the United States. It says, you know, we're allowing other countries to put tariffs on us, but we don't put tariffs on them. And, you know, I'm a free trade champion, and free trade has to be fair trade.
A free trade champion.
And I think that's basically the position that you have put forward, Mr. President. We are going to eliminate the tariffs, and rapidly. I had the opportunity to speak to Secretary Lutnick yesterday.
Anyway, I'll probably do a further breakdown of this later, but yeah, it's just like why is there anything? Why are there trade barriers? Why are there tariffs if you're our friend and all this and that, and there's a huge trade deficit with y'all? Why? Like, this is something you could have done anytime now. Like, I don't know. It's just like funny. Like he's doing us a huge favor now or something.
Yeah, it's funny.
But anyway, there's other good moments from this, but I know you don't want to watch like too long because, but anyway, is there anything else you wanted to say about the tariff thing before we maybe move on, or do you want to?
Just that I guess like China and Trump and America, they're going after, going at it. Like China's at 125% tariff.
Yeah, Trump had all these tariffs on for like less than a week, and then he's like, yep, we're taking them all off except for China. It's like, okay, you're a fucking retard.
Yeah.
He can't stand by anything. And I know I've probably voiced this before and maybe with you as well, but I at least want to just put it out there one more time for anyone that maybe missed it before or maybe more willing to consider it now. Trump was people tried to assassinate Trump like 2 or 3 times before he was elected. Since he's elected, all of a sudden all these people that wanted to kill him and were out for him, they just changed their mind. Like there was 3 assassinations in like the 6 months leading up to his election or nomination or whatever you want to call it, or I guess being elected, and then after there's been none. Just miraculously, there now that he's like in, and they don't need to rally people for him. There's none because like those assassination attempts just like rallied his base like a lot. And then the other thing is, even if you're willing to say, well, people thought they wanted to kill him before he got in or whatever, okay. The other thing is, why does Trump almost never talk about the assassination attempts?
Because it helped him win the presidential election.
I know, but you would think he would be bringing it up all the time about how somebody was out to kill him and he just beat the odds yet again. And like, you think that'd be like a point of him bragging, like, oh, remember when they tried to kill me and they still couldn't stop me, and remember these people colluded to try to kill me. Why doesn't he throw that out like all the time? Like that's the type of thing he does. He likes to brag about stuff that goes in his favor or makes him look like a badass or makes other people look shitty, but he never brags about it. And the third thing is, I know the guy who actually like nicked his ear allegedly or supposedly to the official story, that guy was killed. But what about the guy that tried to kill Trump at the golf course and stuck his gun through the fence and was in the bushes? Whatever happened to that guy? We never heard like what kind of penalty he got or his trial or anything, or if he was colluding with other people or if he got paid to do it or if he just went crazy. Like we never heard anything about that guy ever. We heard that he got arrested, but then after that, we never heard anything. It's like, isn't that a little weird to you?
Yeah, very weird.
So I don't know, just something as an observer that I'm like, like I just think all that was pretty contrived to like get the people that were supporting Trump or on the fence to like really get behind him and vote and like rally the troops, so to speak. But it's just interesting that we're not hearing any conclusion from it. Trump doesn't bring it up as a bragging point. He's talked about that guy who nicked his ear. Like he bragged a bunch about it in the beginning, but now he doesn't really bring it up as like a point of victory. He rarely talks about it. So anyway, that's just some thoughts I had on that. Let's see, what were some of the other things we were going to talk about? Oh, the Michael Malone firing. I don't know if you really keep up with like the Denver Nuggets or like the NBA period, but the Nuggets have been like really good the past like 5 to maybe even like 7 years. And they have Jokic, who's like one of the best in the league. He's got MVP a couple times. They won a championship like 2 years ago. And like they've just been really good in the West. Like I said, the past 5, maybe even 7, 8 years, they've been really, really good in the Western Conference, which is like the tougher of the two between the East and West. And out of nowhere, Michael Malone, I saw a little ESPN thing on it or whatever. He's been their coach since 2015, so 10 years. They said he's the winningest Denver Nuggets coach ever. He's the only one I think to win. I think that's the Denver's first championship that they won like 2 years ago. So like this guy's done good. It's not like he's a loser. Like he's been a good coach. They have a really good player in Jokic, and like out of nowhere, like 2 or 3 games before the playoffs start this year, they fire their head coach. So it's like really weird timing, and he's like a good coach. So it's kind of like a big surprise. Do you have any thoughts off what I said, or do you know anything about it, or any thoughts?
Maybe they're just upset that they got rid of their best player.
No, they didn't get rid of Jokic.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And I did hear like off of one of these sports shows that like they fired the head coach and they fired the GM, and that the head coach and the GM were like not getting along, and it was being like a toxic relationship, and that whoever's like higher up that fired both of them didn't want to like fire one of them and like basically pick a side. So it's like, I'm not going to fire the head coach and like basically pick the GM side, and I'm not just going to fire the GM and pick the coach's side. I'm just going to get rid of both of y'all. So who knows? Maybe more will come out of it, but maybe not. And I heard the coach had like kind of lost the players, like they weren't listening to him anymore. But it's like, damn, they just won a championship like 2 years ago. They're still like a really good team. So another thought was that like he's a kind of a hard coach like hard on his players, and they're saying like the new players don't really like a coach to be like bitching at them all the time, you know? So people were thinking maybe like that was another thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know that is more of a common thing that the players like don't want to hear the coaches bitching at them, which I don't know. I don't know really how I feel about that. I kind of see both sides of it, but um there is something to being coachable, and like I know you don't want to hear coaches bitching, bitching, bitching all the time, but you do as a player need to be open to critique sometimes. You can't just think I'm the shit. I'm just gonna go out and play because like every now and then you're gonna make little mistakes, and if you don't allow yourself to be coached, like you're not gonna potentially grow and like eliminate those mistakes. And like Popovich is kind of like one of those like hard ass like always chewing people's ass out, but like look at how long the Spurs were good and how many championships they won because the players kind of let him do his thing a little bit. So I don't know, but it's kind of interesting with the new wave of players where they have more and more power, and like maybe I kind of feel like you're not going to see as many dynasties now because players like Kevin Durant and Kyrie and LeBron, they just go wherever suits them at the time. They're not willing to like listen to a coach. They're not willing to make the hard like dedication and make the changes of little mistakes when they mess up. Like if things don't go their way, they just go to next team, next team, next team, next team. And it's like, all right, but I don't know. I feel like there's something to be said for like staying with one team, working hard on your mistakes. That's what creates like a dynasty as opposed to like just team hopping and like going wherever it's cool and not really having to listen to anybody, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just like a new era of sports, but I don't know if it's necessarily for the better. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. Um, do you have anything to say about that, or is like any sport you watch that has like similarities, or any thoughts on that, or
When it comes to sports,
yeah, have you seen like maybe you have brothers or sisters that are like in little league? Have you seen any changes in that, or like have you seen changes in like high school sports, or like anything in sports that you could see where like the players don't want to be coached as much and like the coaches can't be as hard on the players, or do you have any kind of thoughts on any of that kind of stuff?
yeah, there's a lot of favoritism.
Mm, okay.
That's in every sport.
And I did hear he was showing favoritism a little bit towards the two-star players, so maybe that was rubbing other players the wrong way. Like, hey, you'll get on me whenever we're watching film, but like you're not gonna tell the stars when they messed up. So who knows? There could be a lot of different things. So, but yeah, favoritism is a big thing. Well, let's see. I also this is kind of like a side note. I saw a commercial the other day when I was watching like a college. I think I was watching I believe I was watching the final, like the college men's national championship, and I believe I saw an ad for like basically like if you're gambling, don't get mad at the college players if they like mess up, and like it was like an anti-bullying type thing. But it's interesting because college players are now almost considered pro at the sports they play because they're getting paid for the sports they play. So it's like this weird thing where like they want to consider them like kids still, like college kids, but they're getting paid and people can bet on them. So it's like a weird kind of thing. I don't really know what I was trying to say about that, but I just thought that was funny that like you shouldn't hate anyone because they lose your sports bet, but this weird thing where like don't bully and hate on college kids because they cost you your bet. It's like, but they're getting paid now and you can bet on them, so it's like a weird. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Now,
Do you see that gambling is more popular with like in general, or have you not really noticed that? I haven't really noticed it with anyone I know, but I have noticed like at least the NBA, which is the like professional sports that I'm most familiar with. I've seen them like a lot of times they'll have a game on FanDuel. Like I'm pretty sure the channel is like sponsored by FanDuel and certain things, and they're like putting it on the court. It's like, okay, now y'all are basically like in bed with these sports betting things then. And it's like, are y'all partially to blame if y'all are like taking ad revenue from them and like advertising them? If like people get caught up for like gambling, they're basically saying gambling's okay. Where for a long time gambling was like illegal unless you went to Vegas. But it's like now it's almost like society is like pushing a little bit to make gambling just okay. What do you think about? Do you think gambling is fine, or what do you?
Yes, everyone gamble your life savings. No,
uh,
gambling's not okay.
yeah, it's just funny. We're starting to see all these things that are not good for people being pushed to the forefront. Gambling. Uh, Nobody's really pushing drugs yet, but alcohol's always been pushed. Gambling. Uh, Everyone having sex, but no one having good relationships. Like all these negative things are being pushed. It's just so weird. And it was weird because for a while the NBA was like against gambling, but now they're advertising it. So it's just like weird to me. But I guess money talks. But I think we're getting closer and closer to people finally learning their lesson about money. Maybe money's not what people think, where they place it real high on their list of importance when it's a tool we have to use in this society, unfortunately, but it's not as important as we think. And when you trade your money for like morals or more time, you give more time than you're comfortable with for money or stuff like that, I think people are going to start to realize that's not really necessarily where it's at, you know? But it's hard to make that trade off because I know is used to buy so many things that we need for life. So anyway, but um let's see. Um I was watching the I saw it on Facebook first, but I was watching the Luca uh like Luca and the Lakers were back in Dallas, and like at the beginning of the game he was like crying, and it was like it is heartfelt or whatever, blah blah blah, but it was like almost like a meme because it was like, damn, he's like that sad. Like it definitely looked meme worthy. You know what I mean? Like the face he was making, he was like crying his eyes out like a little baby. Let me see if I can find the picture
Dang,
real quick.
little baby bitch boy.
Yeah, he was looking real. His eyes were so watery, and he had like such a baby face, it almost looked like AI. Not really, but like I don't know. It was looking a little. Let's see. Thought I had shared it to. Maybe I hold on. Ugh, my computer's starting to slow down. It's gross. Ugh, that's super gross. Here it is. Let's see. Can you see this?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, let me put it up for the people. There we go. Dude, man, that's a good one, but it's almost like there's another like the top right one. There's another like I wonder if I can find a video of that. He's looking real crooked, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Here we go. God damn, that's loud. Wow. Are we gonna show it? Turn the lights on. I wanted it before this where he's like looking up.
Thank you, Luca.
Man. Let me see. What are you doing back there? You playing some fucking cricket Minecraft?
I was playing some Yu-Gi-Oh, bro, and I fucking shit on this guy, and he was telling me to shut the fuck up. And I was like, "Fuck you, bitch."
You cricket.
Yeah. Let me share my screen. Look.
Hold on.
Wait, wait. Ah, fuck.
Let me see.
This guy's hurt. Do you see it? Do you see what I'm sharing?
No, hold on. I guess I gotta stop sharing mine, or can I go back to the? Oh yeah.
We fucking got in a big argument. I'm like, bro, trust it works.
He said
And I
no.
was like, no, I was like, and I was like, I called judge and paused the game. And then I'm trying to help him, teach him. I'm like, yeah, because it's the damage step shit. And then on entering battle phase, I just fucking shit on him. And then I message him, I'd hate to lose to me too, man. GG, shut the fuck up. And then I'm like, I hate gadgets. Better luck next time. And then he's like, sacking ass piece of shit.
uh,
But
he
yeah.
hates you.
Yeah, I just had to get one game. I haven't had internet the past 2 days, so I was itching for a game. But let's continue on with this news, man.
Let's see.
Yeah, I saw him crying of the tribute, and I'm like, dude, why are you crying? And
What's
they're
this
like, oh, this is how much Dallas means to him. I'm like, bro, it's not that deep.
Oh, I still
It's
share my
just a
screen. Okay, yeah.
game. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I'm
lived
watching
in
you.
Dallas. He cares
Shit,
about the
I live in
fans, Joey.
Tribute video.
I live in Texas, bitch.
Dallas is in
Hey,
Texas.
shout out the LOG freestyle.
Oh yeah, what do you
Bitch, I'm from
think?
Texas.
I feel like it could have
Dude,
been better.
if I had more time, I probably would have been able to put something out. I had a little inspiration. Like, oh, I should have been like, bitch, I'm from the South or something, like I'm from South Texas or I don't know what, or
Yeah.
but yeah, because I was like, I'm not from Houston or I'm not from like
Oh,
Dallas or Austin.
the
You know?
bottom, the bottom quivering lip. Yeah. Nah, yeah, you just gotta claim where you're from. Fuck it. Tell them what it's
Mhm.
like down where you're from.
Hell yeah.
South of where Mexican OT is from. My homie Matt, I'm surprised. I guess he's like subscribed to the channel. He got a notification or whatever, but he told me he listened to it like the next day, like as soon as I put it out, and I was surprised. And then he said he liked the John Morant line, and then the Gulf of Mexico line. So there were some good bars, but I feel like I could have spent more time and made it better. But it's whatever. It was fun, little open verse.
Yeah, it was cute.
Dude, it looks like this almost looks like a movie. His eyes get super water, and he's like bottom quivering lip. He can't take it. Damn, he's so sad. I think, yeah, the thing is, last year they went to the finals, so it's like, damn, they got so close to winning it all, and then like they trade him. It's kind of fucked up. But anyway,
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know why they would trade him.
they thought he didn't care about keeping his health up. They thought he was gonna like start to gain weight and stuff and be like a little lazy. But
Bro, you play basketball for a living. Like, how hard is it? It's like not gain weight. You know, I've been playing basketball. It's been helping me lose weight.
yeah,
It's definitely been hurting my feet though.
yeah, I bet. Have you seen Zion Williams?
And yeah, he's put on a lot of weight, right?
He trimmed down, but like for a while, he was putting on a lot of weight too. So
Yeah, I mean, basketball helps, but it's not the best way to lose weight.
really, what is?
Well, because you're doing like a lot of sprints, a lot of jumping. You can hurt yourself. You can roll your ankle.
Okay.
I guess that can happen when you run also. But like running a mile after workout or before a workout or early in the day, like that helps out a lot. And also, you know, portion control,
Yeah.
everyone's favorite word, you know.
Portion control. You heard that a
I've
lot.
never heard of that. I never heard of that word until I heard Weston's roommate say that shit.
Really?
I always knew portions, you know, or like a diet or limit your food intake.
Yeah.
But I could see how portion control could trigger some young adults.
It's funny. Let's see. I need to do something. My Google Chrome's taking up like a lot of my memory. But anyway, that's another thing for another day.
Yeah, I'm looking to buy a computer soon because I can write it off on my taxes for school because I'm gonna be using it primarily for school. But I can also use it to help benefit my YouTube.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure you can use it for your business also. Like, hey, I needed to. You can put that on your taxes.
Yeah. Yeah, you can use your yeah, you can. I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be a pain in the ass trying to figure all that out and put it on my taxes. But yeah, I know you can write it off somehow.
No, just you need to go to a tax lady or something and just give her like a percentage.
I know. I don't want to give her a percentage.
But it's have her do all the work and then you're just chilling.
Yeah.
Switch your sweets.
You like that?
Yes, sir.
So, oh yeah, the challenge was also something we're gonna bring up. We kind of mentioned that a little bit. Uh, I guess we'll get into the Dire Wolf thing, but I just want to shout out G Dollar. He put out a mixtape last Friday called The Gastronaut. It's on YouTube and all major streaming platforms. Uh, it's a solid album, very solid. He doesn't put out garbage. Some of the highlights though, I think are Gumbo. I'm the Gastronaut, which is the title track, obviously, and then there's another one. I think it's called like Ambitions or Ambitious Rider, I think, and it's or Ambitious Rider. I pulled the Vlad Rider, but he like samples Tupac, and then there's another one that's called Older and Colder, and he samples Young Star on the hook, and I really kind of like that one. So yeah, go check it out if y'all want some good new rap. And he's also teasing an album that's supposed to be coming out probably within the next couple of months. That's called something Leader of the Barbarians or Lord of the Barbarians or something like that. So I'll be on the lookout for that too. Uh, but I think one of the last topics we might see if we could come up with a few more. But one of the last ones we had to talk about was the Dire Wolf thing. Did you hear
Oh,
about that
Direwolf,
already?
shout out Direwolf.
What did you hear about that, or what are your thoughts on that?
They're bringing back dinosaurs, baby.
I think that shit's cappuccino.
Scientific breakthrough 13,000 years after the last dire wolf
Hold up, it's a goddamn scientific breakthrough.
You think science is real?
Yeah, I think real science, which is like the scientific theory where you come up with a hypothesis and you list all the things and you get that, yeah, I think that kind of shit's real. But when someone just says science discovered this, it's like, no, I don't just believe that whatever they say on the TV happened, you know?
the Earth.
Yeah.
NASA discovered a new star 3.5 million light years away that's just like the sun and it's fucking magic. It's like, yeah, right.
Scientists say they've now brought them back. Here's our chief national correspondent back up and with the video tonight.
How would we even know this was a lie or not? We have no way to know. Zero as a regular civilian. And that's the problem.
Tonight, a howl 13,000 years in the making. In a first for science, biotech company Colossal Biosciences says it brought the extinct direwolf back to life, a species that hasn't walked the earth since the Stone Age.
The direwolf is the first de-extinct species.
Well known from HBO's hit show Game of Thrones, ABC News given exclusive access into Colossal's lab in Dallas, where scientists are using genes from gray wolves to create dire wolves.
We've taken a gray wolf genome, a gray wolf cell, which is already genetically
Fuck the wolves.
99.5%.
Dang, you can't take it.
Bring back woolly mammoths, man.
I heard they were going to work on that next.
Oh yeah, I want to see that. I want to see some dinosaurs, man.
Dinosaurs aren't real.
Identical
right.
to dire. wolves, and we've edited those cells.
Google when they discovered dinosaurs. I'm gonna go get something to drink. I'll be right back.
Taking over the stream. When did they discover dinosaurs? 19th century.
All right, I'm back. When they find out about,
In the 19th century.
so what is that, like the 1800s?
They were first discovered in 1677.
That
And they
is
were
not
like,
the
what the fuck
19th
is
century.
this? I know, but they first discovered dinosaur bones in 1677. They didn't know what the fuck it was. And then the formal identification of dinosaurs happened in 1824 when he discovered the Megalosaurus.
So what if those bones that they discovered back in 16 some whatever were not dinosaur bones?
Well, it's something, all right.
Oh, it's something. Could be my
We
dick
just don't know what
bone,
it
bitch. Could be anything. They didn't really discover dinosaurs until 18 something. They could have just made that motherfucking shit up.
Bro, you know what? It could have been like an advanced civilization, like farm shit back in the day. Have you been keeping up with the pyramids?
Yeah, how they go all the way down.
Yeah, there's been a lot of like new discovery and new findings.
What do you think? I mean, that just sounds like. Why now? How come y'all just now found out? We had radar, real good radar and sonar and all this kind of shit for years. Y'all just now found this out?
It's because they don't want the information to get out, or they don't want, they don't want all the findings they found before to be false. They don't want to be wrong,
Yeah. I don't even know what to say about that. It's just some more weirdo shit. But I definitely don't believe in no damn dinosaurs. Fuck no. No one's ever talked about them, heard about them, seen about them, anything about them until the 16 somethings. Or if you don't believe that, then the 1800s. It's like, dude, someone just dreamed that bullshit up. There's no talks about dinosaurs in the Bible or any other place.
Yeah.
But they existed how many millions of years ago? It's like, I don't know about that,
I don't know,
son.
bro.
I don't
Fucking
know.
Millions of years ago.
How many? I'm going to look it up. People don't really be thinking
Can't
about this.
take it.
People can't even believe Jesus existed 2,000 years ago or shit like that, or even a little bit before that. What happened a little bit before Jesus' time? Like, what the fuck was going on then? We don't know anything, but we're brave enough to say how many millions of years ago dinosaurs existed. It's like, I'm calling bullshit.
They're saying that we always get reset. Like we always reach a certain point in time, then we get reset. And then we always reach a certain point in time, we get reset.
I know, but still, so
the Earth is 4.5 billion years old.
yeah, so they say. How do they know that? How do they
It
know
could
that?
be it could be older, right?
How do
It
they
could
know
be
that?
older.
How
It
do
could
they
be
prove that?
It could.
Oh, here we go. Dinosaurs were roughly 245 to 66 million years ago. There's that number, 66. So millions of years ago.
And before the dinosaurs, there could have been something else on the Earth.
Yeah, but how can you say something existed 66 or more million years ago and you can prove it without a shadow of a doubt?
Apparently,
How did those
Antarctica
bones
was
even stay in the ground that fucking goddamn long, dude? Bullshit.
Well, they're
Bullshit.
apparently Antarctica was connected to South America at one point.
So what?
I don't know. It's a cool fact.
I'm calling bullshit on dinosaurs, brother. We don't even have 1 million years of history recorded. We have like a couple thousand at most. We're like, yeah, 50, 66 million years ago, dinosaurs existed. It's like, yeah, right. That's like insane. You really think a bone's gonna be in the ground that long?
Like
With
it should turn into fossil
earthquakes,
fuels.
it should just
Or
turn
what?
into fucking dust. Have you ever heard of the term ashes to ashes and dust to dust? What about a bone just disintegrating and over millions of years and just turning into dust and dirt and breaking down in the ground and with earthquakes and floods and all this shit? Oh, all the bones are still there. 66 million years later. It's like, yeah, dude, you think there's a bone that strong? That's bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. I mean, what do you think? Does that
Okay.
pass the smell test for you?
I don't even know anymore, man.
Nah, you know it's bullshit.
I guess you could have a point.
Yeah.
Why
Dinos.
don't dinosaur bones decay? Let's see. Let's call the bullshit. The layers of sediment protect the bones from rotting.
That's bullshit. I don't buy that, do you?
I mean, I'm not a science major, so
Do
I
you know
can't
everything
tell
has a
you.
doesn't everything have a half-life where it breaks down? Have you heard of that?
Yes, I've heard of Half-Life.
Okay, well then bones don't just last forever. That's the stupidest thing ever. If they did, we would use old bones as like fucking tools or something. Like bones don't last forever in the ground. That's ridiculous. I don't believe that. Why do we bury people in caskets then?
Why do we bury people in caskets then? It's a good question, man.
Let's see. How long does a bone last in the ground? The longevity of bones buried in the ground varies significantly depending on the range of environmental and soil conditions. Here's the breakdown. Factors influencing bone decomposition: soil acidity. Acidic soils accelerate decomposition, potentially dissolving bones within decades, possibly 20 years. Neutral or alkaline soils can allow bones to persist for centuries or even millennia. Very cold conditions can preserve bones for longer periods, similar to natural mummification. Bones can decompose within decades in unfavorable conditions or persist for hundreds of thousands of years in more favorable ones. In rare circumstances such as peat bogs or deserts, skeletons can be preserved for tens of thousands of years. It's possible. I just don't believe it. It's like, no, the thing is, no one ever heard of one until the 1800s. It's like, don't you find that weird? There's never any bones before that.
Well, they weren't looking for bones, or if they did find bones, they didn't like think anything of it. Possibly.
But there's no cave paintings of dinosaurs and stuff. None of the Egyptian pyramids have dinosaur paintings. There's no like dinosaurs just never existed. It was never a thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's certainly kind of weird.
And I get you. I hear you where you come from. I get you.
Yeah.
Totally get you.
So we'll see. I don't know. I don't believe it. I feel like all that shit's just a bunch of bullshit. You know, millions and billions of years ago in science. I don't just trust something whenever they throw the word science out. You know. Let's finish this up.
At multiple places in its DNA sequence to contain the direwolf version of the DNA. That animal looks like a direwolf, it will behave like a direwolf, and it is a direwolf.
Now, 7 months old, direwolves Romulus and Remus eating well and getting bigger every day. And David, the company tells us they're not stopping there. They plan to have woolly mammoths roaming the earth again by 2028. But critics argue that this de-extinction could harm fragile ecosystems. David?
Yeah, the images are really something, Matt. Thank you.
Images. Yeah, we'll see. Woolly mammoths would be weird.
That'd be cool.
Well, let's see. We've only gone for like 45 minutes, but is there anything else you wanted to cover? Maybe we'll just do like a short one. I kind of want to hit this Trump Netanyahu video, but if you don't want to, you can sign off and then I might hit it real quick.
Trump and what?
That Trump and Netanyahu video.
Go for it, man.
You gonna stick around or you want me to let you go?
No, I'll stick around.
Okay. Let's see. Let me pull it up. Yeah, my Google Chrome is taking up like a lot of temporary memory, so I wonder if it's like I need to clear out the memory or like the cookies and all that kind of thing, or what's going on with that. But I'll look into that a little later. All right, let's see. We're gonna pick up where we left off, everybody. Let me see. I haven't. Yeah. Let's see. I keep just getting spammers on the chat and Kick. It's kind of weird. But anyway. All right, yeah, let's pick up where we left off.
Yesterday, we talked about how we could affect this quickly, and I hope to bring a solution very quickly. We're not talking about intentions. We're not talking about, just words. We're talking about results. And those results are going to come. That's the first.
Thank you very much. It's very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President, what about the hostages deal?
Well,
What about the
Let
hostages?
him
I
finish.
didn't finish. I'm going to begin. We spoke about not only the hostages, but about Gaza. The hostages obviously is a human story of just unbearable agony. I speak to the families. I spoke to them yesterday. Spoke to another one when I was in Hungary before I came here. I speak to them every day. They're in agony.
He speaks to the hostages every day. Of the families of the hostages every day. How do you like that? Every day.
Agony. I speak to the families. I spoke to them yesterday. Spoke to another one when I was in Hungary before I came here. I speak to them every day. They're in agony. The hostages are in agony. And we want to get them all out. Steve Witkoff, was, President Trump's very able representative, helped us get a deal that got 25 out. We're working now on another deal that we hope will succeed. And we're committed to getting all the hostages out, but also eliminating the evil tyranny of Hamas in Gaza and enabling the people of Gaza to freely make a choice to go wherever they want. I mean, they should have that choice. And the president put
They
forward.
can go wherever they want. They just can't stay here. Get them the fuck out.
Or a vision, a bold vision, which we discussed as well, including the countries that might be amenable and are amenable to accepting Palestinians of their free choice if they choose to go there. And I think that's the second thing that we discussed. But the hostages came right on top. We also discussed the situation in Syria. We've had neighborly relations with Turkey that have deteriorated, and we don't want to see Syria being used by anyone, including Turkey, as a base for attack in Israel. Turkey is a country that has a great relationship with the United States. The president has a relationship with the leader of Turkey. We discussed how we can avoid this conflict in a variety of ways, and I think we can't have a better interlocutor than the President of the United States for this purpose. And of course, we also discussed Iran. Look, we're both united in the goal that Iran does not ever get nuclear weapons. If it can be done diplomatically.
The U.S. can have nuclear weapons. Israel can have nuclear weapons. But Iran, no, no, no. You can't have nuclear weapons. It's like, why? I don't know.
the full way, the way it was done in Libya. I think that would be a good thing. But whatever happens, we have to make sure that Iran does not have nuclear weapons. That's the end of my speech.
Mr. President,
We're having direct talks with, wait a minute, wait. We're having direct talks with Iran. And they've started, it'll go on Saturday. We have a very big meeting and we'll see what can happen. And I think everybody agrees that doing a deal would be preferable to doing the obvious. And the obvious is not something that I want to be involved with, or frankly, that Israel wants to be involved with if they can avoid it. So we're going to see if we can avoid it. But it's getting to be very dangerous territory. And hopefully those talks will be successful. And I think it would be in Iran's best interest if they are successful. We hope that's going to happen. And we had just a lot of good talks on a lot of things. I appreciate very much what you said about the tariffs. We've been ripped off and taken advantage of by many countries over the years, and can't do it anymore. Just can't do it anymore. Can't be the stupid people anymore. And it's all because of the people that sat in the seat right here. Not your seat, but this seat. They allowed things to happen to our country that they shouldn't have allowed to happen on trade and other things, many other things. I mean, look at what's happened with our last president, where he allowed millions of people to come into our country with an open border. Who would want an open border? How stupid was that? But he allowed millions and millions of people, and of the millions, and I think it was 21 million people, but let's say 3 of them were serious criminals, serious murderers and drug dealers and gang members and people from jails. All the jails emptied out right into our country, right along the open border on Mexico, generally the Mexico. They came in from Canada too, by the way, a lot. But generally speaking, on the southern border. And what a shame it is that we are now working very hard to get them out, get the criminals out, get the murderers out, the drug dealers, the mentally insane, get them out. They dropped the mentally insane in our country too. And this was all done by the Biden administration. It's a disgrace that we have to work so hard. And then we have judges that try and protect these people, but they didn't protect us when the people were being let in. But to get them out is never easy with these people. So I think we're doing a great job. The border is the best it's ever been. It's even as strong as it was. I had a great, solid border. I think it might even be tougher right now.
Why don't you tell us who these judges are that are upholding all this crooked stuff so we can vote them out, not vote them back in? It's like he talks about getting rid of all these people and all this stuff, but he doesn't really, like, these corrupt judges, they back them up and protect them. It's like, who? Tell us so we don't vote him back in. Is Trump popular down where you live?
Yeah, a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I have some friends working for the construction at the border.
Oh, okay.
And they're making a lot of money thanks to Daddy Trump. Which
yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of Republicans in Texas, bro. Texas is like Republican as fuck.
Yeah. It's weird.
This was the first time in 4 years, or in like since 19 something, we made the news and everything since South Texas was turned red.
Really?
Like the valley. Yeah, this was like the first time in like 60 some years.
That's weird. What do you think it is? Cause of economics?
Well, yeah, because we couldn't afford fucking chicken for tacos and shit.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious, bro. They came and interviewed some of the fucking Hispanics here. You know, Mexicans, I mean, they're not really they're really hardworking, really smart, but they're not, like, English isn't their first language.
Yeah.
So it's just funny. I have an interview. I'm gonna send it to you. You can keep playing. I'll send it right now.
Okay.
And stronger. So people are coming into our country, but they're coming in legally. We have a legal process, and we have that moving along properly, because we need people to come into our country, but we want people that can love our country and cherish our country. So that's where we are. And with that, any questions?
Mr. President,
The European Union to the markets today, and would you be open to a pause in tariffs to allow for negotiations?
Well, we're not looking at that. We have many
we're not looking at that. As of today, he did pause all of them. Dude, he is more back and forth than a fucking psycho baby mama.
coming to negotiate deals with us, and they're going to be fair deals, and in certain cases they're going to be paying substantial tariffs. There'll be fair deals. As you know, I spoke this morning with the Prime Minister of Japan, and we had a very good conversation. They're coming. And I said, one thing, you're going to have to open up your country, because we sold no cars, like 0 cars in Japan, and they sold millions of cars into our country. They don't really take our agriculture, a little bit of it just to keep us slightly happy, but they don't take what they're supposed to be taking. So we have a great relationship with Japan. We're going to keep it that way, but they're coming in to meet, and other countries are coming in. With China, as you know, against my statement, they put a 34% tariff on above what their ridiculous tariffs were already.
Freaking slacking. Now what the fuck? Bruh. What is going on?
They shut you down or what?
Nah, it's just not showing the... There we go. Frig, Mr. Leahy. I didn't have the YouTube open, but then when I tried to get it open, it was like froze on the Luca thing.
And I said, if that tariff isn't removed by tomorrow at 12 o'clock, we're putting a 50% tariff on above the tariffs that we put on. So they've gone for years. They've become a rich country because of people, again, that were in the White House that allowed this to happen. Hundreds of billions of dollars a year they'd make on us on trade, and it shouldn't be that way. And I have a great relationship with President Xi. I hope it's going to stay that way. I have great respect for China, but they can't do this. We're going to have one shot at this, and no other president's going to...
Why do we only have one shot at this?
...do this, what I'm doing. And I'll tell you what, it's an honor to do it, because we have been just...
Because right now, they're in full control.
Who?
The Republicans.
Yeah, but no one else can do what he's doing right now? I mean, come on.
Well, the president is the only one who has the power to do all this.
Yeah, he's like, no other president can do what I'm doing. It's unthinkable. It never will happen. This is our one shot. It's like, okay, that's like a lie. Like, I mean, it's like an extreme exaggeration. It's like you could say I'm the only one who, I guess that is like, it's one thing to say I'm the only one who will do it, or that's around right now, but for you to say that it'll never happen ever again, like you're the only one ever who can do this, like that just makes you seem like you're Jesus or something. Like, I'm the only one that can do this, no one else. It's like, okay, dude, it's just weird.
Destroyed what they've done to our system. You know, we have $36 trillion of debt for a reason.
This whole country is built on debt. Have you ever heard of like the term good debt? And like what else am I trying to say? Like, debt is a good thing. A lot of people like when some people buy a house, they're in debt. That they owe a bunch on the house. Or like people take out a loan for all kinds of stuff and they're in debt, but it's like good debt. Like, this whole country's made off of debt. $1 is a promissory note to pay someone back. Like, I don't know.
And the reason is that people allowed it to get that way. So we'll be talking to China. We'll be talking to a lot of different countries.
China.
And I think, you know, if we can make a really fair deal and a good deal for the United States, not a good deal for others. This is America first. It's now America first. And we didn't put America first. We put America last. The people that were in the Oval Office put America last, and we're not going to stand for it. Yeah.
Mr. President, who's going to represent the U.S. in the talks with Iran?
2 questions. Do you expect any of these deals to be made before April 9th? And secondly, there have been some mixed messages from your administration. You're talking about negotiations, and yet others in your administration are saying that these tariffs are actually permanent. What is the action?
Well, it could be. They can both be true. There can be permanent tariffs, and there can also be negotiations, because there are things that we need beyond tariffs. We need open borders. You know, we almost had a deal with China where we're going to open up China. It was almost done. Some of you remember it during my first term. And it was very disappointing. We ended up making a great deal. $50 billion worth of product was sold. $50 billion. You'd like that in Israel. And I made that deal, but it wasn't the deal that I wanted. It was the deal that I wanted was that, plus they were going to open up China so that our companies could go into China and compete with other countries and China for the, you know, for a large number of people. And at the very end, that deal was terminated, and we went to a piece of the deal. And so there are a lot of things outside of tariffs, but tariffs are very important. But there are a lot of things like opening up countries that were totally closed. China is essentially a closed country. In fact, it is a closed country. And what they do is they charge tariffs so that if you sell cars or if you sell anything, nobody's going to buy it because the price is out of control. But that's true with a lot of other countries also. So we're going to get fair deals and good deals with every country. And if we don't, we're going to have nothing to do with them. They're not going to be allowed to participate in the United States.
Mr. President, what is the news?
What's up, fucking hound dogs?
Actually, have time. This gentleman is all day long.
Mr. President, thank you for the chance. Many of Palestinian Americans who voted for you and not for Biden because you've promised them to end the war in Gaza.
Very honored by that vote, too.
The war is still going on and there's no hostage deal. Do you have any update on that?
Well, I'd like to see the war stop, and I think the war will stop at some point that won't be in the too distant future. Right now we have a problem with hostages. We're trying to get the hostages out. We got quite a few of them out, but it's a long process. It shouldn't be that long. We have a big problem that we've done. I think I'll ask Pete to maybe talk about it for a second, because a lot of people are asking the Houthis.
Okay.
I found the video.
You've been looking?
We've been very tough and very successful militarily. We've really damaged them badly. These were people shooting down ships and other things, by the way, flying objects like airplanes. And we've put a major hurt on the Houthis, which we've gotten many of their leaders and they've been very badly damaged. Nobody else was able to do that but us. Pete, you want to discuss that, please?
Yes, sir.
I don't give a fuck about this guy.
Of time in Afghanistan, and one of the dumbest situations, I think, and maybe the most embarrassing situation we've ever been involved in, that short period of time in Afghanistan.
What's up?
What a disgrace that was, but left a lot of our military behind. Left. You see them in their annual parades.
Which one is it? You sent 3.
They're parading trucks that are armor plated and different things that they can't. But it's many billions of dollars we left behind. But despite that,
you still there?
We have a tremendous military. That was a very small portion because we rebuilt the military during my first term, and we have great things happening with our military, and nobody's seen anything like it. We have to build our military, and we're very cost conscious, but the military is something that we have to build. We're cutting other things that have to do with environmental, and they had $100 in the bank, and they give it the likes of which we've never had before. We've never had the kind of aircraft. The military is very, very powerful.
Mr. President, I want to ask you about Iran, because this is the first time we hear that the U.S. is having a direct contact with the
Iran. On Saturday, maybe a deal is going to be made. Importantly,
trading partners.
Maybe a deal is going to be
made.
Of
the Chinese.
I'm not worried about it.
He loves to make a deal. He thinks he's Howie Mandel.
I'm not worried about it. If they want to be in the hands of the U.S., they don't want to be in the hands of the Chinese. And, the Chinese have turned out to be really not very good at that. People that are with us, they're with us. But we cannot be taken advantage of it. 30 years ago it was Japan, then it was something else, then it was another group, then it was China. China's doing the best job of it, frankly. And it's just not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Is that not enough?
Well, the EU, no, it's not. The EU has been very tough over the years. I always say it was formed to really do damage to the United States in trade. That's the reason it was formed. situation to create a unified force, dollar-wise and militarily, until I got there. You know, I was able to get $600 billion from NATO, where they paid NATO because most of these nations weren't even paying. We were paying for NATO, so we're paying them to guard them militarily, and they're screwing us on trade. So that's not a good combination. So now it's really turned around. It's the opposite, and the European Union's been very bad to us. They don't take our cars, like Japan in that sense. They don't take our agricultural product. They don't take anything practically. And yet they send millions of cars in a year, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, BMW, for the European Union. And it's not going to be that way. It's got to be fair and disappear fast. And one of the reasons and one of the ways that that can disappear easily and quickly is they're going to have to buy our energy from us because they need it. They're going to have to buy it from us. They can buy it. We can knock off $350 billion in 1 week. They have to buy and commit to buy a like amount of energy. And we have that. You know, we have more energy than any country in the world. I don't know if you know that. He knows everything. But the one thing he may not know, we have more energy than any country in the world. We have more of every kind of energy, every form of energy, from oil and gas to coal. And people talk about, I call it beautiful, clean coal. As you know, Germany is opening up a coal plant a week. They tried the windmills and it didn't work. They tried all the other solutions and they were ready to go out of business. Now they're doing a coal plant a week. China is now up to 2 coal plants. They're opening 2 major coal plants every single week in China, all over China, and then we're not allowed to use coal. Well, we have clean, beautiful coal more than anybody else. We have oil and gas more than anybody else. We have the most energy of any country in the world, including Saudi Arabia, including everybody, by a lot. And I took it to #1. We were #3, and I took it to Biden is energy. It was also their bad spending, but that went up, everything else followed. Now, so when I got in, the press went absolutely crazy the first week. They said, eggs have quadrupled in price. I said, I just got here. Tell me about it. It's taken a long time to cure levels that nobody ever. So we're really doing amazing. I mean, we're cutting prices because prices got so high coming down. You know, debt's become such a big factor in this country. We're going to start paying debt off with tariffs and other things. But it's such a big factor because the interest rate's so high. Well, now that's coming way down. So our budget's going to look a lot better because interest costs are way down. And I guess I've done that. Okay.
I guess I've done that. The way he said it, like he was almost surprised that it was true.
Many Israelis are watching you now on live show. Good. What is your specific way of getting the hostages out from the horrific captivity?
We are trying very hard to get the hostages out. We're looking at another ceasefire. We'll see what happens. But we want to get the hostages out. The Israeli people want the hostages out more than anything. They want the hostages out. This man is working very hard with us to do that. I mean, I don't know. I hope he's being appreciated because he's been a great leader. He's working very, very hard on the hostages and many other things. And there are plenty of things you have to work on. It's a tough place in the world.
I have a good partner.
Yeah, you do have a good partner, and so do we. We're working very hard on the hostages.
If you're going to negotiate a new deal with Iran, can you elaborate how it's going to be more effective than the JCPOA?
Well, I can't really say that, but I think it'll be different and maybe a lot stronger. But they were so happy when we made that first deal because we did get a lot out. You know, I had people right in this office, this beautiful Oval Office. They came in, 10 people, hostages, you know that. And I said to them, so how was it? And the stories they told me, I mean, as an example, I said to them, was there any sign of love? You were there, 10 people. It's only 10, but it's pretty representative. Did the Hamas show any signs of, like, help or liking you? Did they wink at you? Did they give you a piece of bread extra? Did they give you...
Did they wink at you or give you a piece of bread extra? You like that? That's what he asked the hostages.
Oh, yeah, they've been treating them real bad.
Oh.
A meal on the side, like, you know, you think of doing, like what happened in Germany, what happened elsewhere. People would try and help people that were in unbelievable distress. They said no. I said, all of them. I said, did they ever wink at you like, you'll be okay? You're going to be okay? No, they didn't do that. They'd slap us.
Did they wink at you like you're gonna be okay? Oh man,
it is unbelievable. And the lives, you know, they lived in a pipe, not really a tunnel, it was a pipe. And they always thought they were suffocating, they were going to suffocate. And then they'd open up the pipe and it was like 3.5 feet high. This isn't, you know, we hear tunnels is bad, but pipes are worse. And the stories I heard were incredible. But I just said, was there any sign of potential love or affection? And there were none whatsoever. It was amazing to me. There was nothing like, here, take this, it's a little extra meal or something. They lived like hell. I don't know, they seemed to be, they were amazing to me because they seemed to be pretty normal. They weren't scarred, but I guarantee underneath they have to be scarred. And one was there for 356 days, another was there for the answer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Are there 2 or 3 countries that on your list that you feel are farther along in getting their tariffs lowered?
I think there are many that want to get rid of tariffs right now. European Union, I mean, as badly as they've treated us, they've brought their car tariffs essentially off. I guess they brought it down to 2.5, and I hear maybe to nothing. But it's not only tariffs, it's non-monetary tariffs. It's tariffs where they put things on that make it impossible for you to sell a car. It's not a money thing. They make it so difficult, the standards and the tests. I
thought this was interesting because he's going to talk about how some of the things that are like barriers, so to speak, are that they put like restrictions on our stuff or regulations that are harsher than their own. So it's not necessarily like a tariff, but it's like a regulation that, or a standard that they don't even have for their own stuff to keep us from selling stuff in other countries. So I just thought that was like an interesting, like little side note.
They drop a bowling ball on the top of your car from 20 feet up in the air, and if there's a little dent, they say, no, I'm sorry, your car doesn't qualify. When the same car from Germany or anything would dent likewise, unless you can have an army tank, it's going to dent. So they come up with rules and regulations that are just designed for one reason, that you can't sell your product in those countries, and we're not going to let that happen. Those are called non-monetary barriers. They make barriers that are so tough that it's impossible to qualify. So tariffs are a big part of it, but there's another big part of it, and that's barriers. They also do something else. They manipulate their currency, and they drive it down. They want to drive it. They want to have low currencies. You know, it sounds better to have a high currency, a strong dollar or whatever, but they bring their currency down. And when it competes with our currency, it's very hard to sell a tractor. It's very hard to sell product because their currency is low and ours is much higher relatively. And so it makes it very hard. I speak to a lot of companies that do business, tractor companies, and they say it's so hard to sell because what they've done is they've lowered the yen or they've lowered the yuan or they've lowered their currency.
What country has the yuan? That's sick.
So that it's very hard to compete. We don't want that either. So we have a lot of things that we're talking about, but we're going to fix it properly, and it's going to be fair to everybody. And in the end, I think we're going to have a world that does a lot better, you know, but they have to respect the United States. And nobody but me would do this. Nobody but me would do this. You know, it would be nice to serve a nice, easy...
Nobody but me would do this.
...term. But we have an opportunity to change the fabric of our country. We have an opportunity to reset the table on trade. We lose billions of dollars. We lose close to $2 trillion a year on trade. We lose $1 trillion a year to China. $1 trillion. We lose hundreds of billions of dollars a year on trade to China. We lose hundreds of billions of dollars overall, probably close to $2 trillion. Why would we do that? Number one, why would we do that? And then you have to say, is it sustainable? Then you hear about all of the people that say, well, deficits, if we have a deficit with the country, or if the country has a big surplus with us, like China has a massive surplus, that they take and they spend on their military. Well, we don't want that.
Well, we don't want that.
I don't want them to take $500, $600 billion a year and spend it on their military. I don't want them spending money on their military. And I shouldn't have to spend money. We shouldn't have to spend it either. Because, you know, hopefully, and I said this to President Xi, hopefully it's money that we're never going to use. In other words, because we're not going to use those incredible weapons that we have and that they have. We don't want that. So it's going to be very interesting. It's the only chance our country will have to reset the table. Because no other president would be willing to do what I'm doing or to even go through it. Now, I don't mind going through it because I see a beautiful picture at the end. But we are making tremendous progress with a lot of countries, and the countries that really took advantage of us are now saying, please negotiate. You know why? Because they're getting beaten badly because of what's happening.
Dude, that thing where he puts his hands together and opens his hands, that has to be like a superpower or something. How many times has he done that? It's like he's opening the vagina. He's like, he like can't stop. He's like addicted to it.
Big old Trump.
They're being devalued as countries. But it's the only chance we're going to have to reset the table on trade. And when we do, we're going to come out unbelievably well. We're going to have a strong country economically again. And we're going to have those factories that are empty all over the United States. We've lost 90,000 plants and factories. Think of this. 90,000. You wouldn't think it's possible. 90,000 plants and factories since NAFTA, which was, by the way, the worst trade deal ever developed, ever had by any country anywhere, NAFTA. And I terminated NAFTA. Everybody said it would be impossible. And I terminated it through Congress. We terminated it. You had to get it through Congress. It was a trap. It was a horrible thing. We got it done. And we went to the USMCA, which was much better. The problem is they cheat. They cheat like crazy. Canada cheats. Mexico cheats.
Canada cheats. Mexico cheats. China cheats. How much you want to bet?
Just one of those things.
I thought he was going to say it.
But we are resetting a table, and we're going to have great trade. And we're going to have a very strong country. Our country is going to be at a level that has maybe never been, or maybe, you know, our country was the strongest, believe it or not, from 1870 to 1913. You know why? It was all tariff-based. We had no income tax. Then in 1913, some genius came up with the idea of let's charge the people of our country, not foreign countries that are ripping off our country. And the country was never that kind of wealth. We had so much wealth, we didn't know what to do with our money. We had meetings, we had committees, and these committees worked tirelessly to study one subject. We have so much money. What are we going to do with it? Who are we going to give it to? And I hope we're going to be in that position again.
He said we have meetings to discuss what we were going to do with all the damn money we had.
Mr. President, do you plan to reduce the tariffs that your government put on Israeli goods, 17%?
On where?
On Israeli goods, the 17%. Do you plan
Well,
to
we're
reduce
talking about a whole new trade. Maybe not. Maybe not. Don't forget, we help Israel a lot. You know, we give Israel $4 billion a year. That's a lot.
Woo!
Congratulations, by the way.
Congratulations, by the way. He's cooking.
But we give Israel billions. We help Israel a lot. You know, we give Israel $4 billion a year. That's a lot.
Why do we give Israel $4 billion a year?
To be in good relations.
Why?
I don't know.
That's fucked. $4 billion a year. Just let that roll right off the tongue. And he's like, congratulations, by the way. It's like, yeah, that's a lot of goddamn money. Yeah. Trump was gonna hurt himself. It's like, why do we give them so much money? Whoa, Dad.
Congratulations, by the way. That's pretty good. But we give Israel billions of dollars a year. Billions. It's
God damn, that'll peel your wig back.
It's one of the highest of, and we give a lot of countries money.
Why? We give a lot of countries money. You want to hear that again?
Israel, billions of dollars a year. Billions. It's one of the highest of, and we give a lot of countries money. You wouldn't believe it.
Why?
If I said we give Afghanistan a lot of money, do you? Because that was a Biden deal, another Biden deal. Not only did he embarrass us with that, but they give them billions of dollars, Afghanistan, right?
Wow. What do you think about that? Billions of dollars to Afghanistan. You like that, Joey?
Yeah, I love it.
Yoo.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm going to do like Willie D. Your government. He says you're president, but your government for people that still believe in this horse shit.
So, but no, we.
Okay.
We take good care of our friends, and we don't take care of our enemies. We're not taking care of our enemies anymore, but we do take care of our friends.
Mr. Berman from the Times of Israel. The IDF is fighting again in the Gaza Strip. I myself might be called up in a month. Do you think that's the way to pressure Hamas to get to a deal? And do you think blocking humanitarian aid is also an effective pressure?
Well, you know how I feel about the Gaza Strip. I think it's an incredible piece of important real estate, and I think it's something that we would be involved in, but you know.
What's up? You back?
Mom needs me to wake her up at 8:30 a.m.
Okay. Yeah. You're the wake up call.
Fucking wake up monster.
You know, having
I'm just gonna. I got 3 more minutes on this, and then I'm done.
a peace force like the United States there.
You love it.
Yeah, it's calling out their bullshit. Why are we giving all these countries all this money?
Controlling and owning the Gaza Strip would be a good thing.
Remember when he said we were gonna have the Gaza Strip? Like, what do you mean we're gonna have it? Are you gonna take it? He's like, we will just have it.
Because right now, all it is for years and years, all I hear about is killing and Hamas and problems. And if you take the people, the Palestinians, and move them around to different countries, and you have plenty of countries that will do that, and you really have a freedom zone. You call it the freedom zone. A free
freedom zone. Yeah, free of Palestinians. Oh.
Zone, a zone where people aren't going to be killed every day. That's a hell of a place. You know what I call it? A great location that nobody wants to live in, because they really don't. And when they have good living, real living, where Hamas and all of the problems they have, the level of death on the Gaza Strip is just incredible. And I've said it. I don't understand why Israel ever gave it up. Israel owned it. It wasn't this man, so I can say it. He wouldn't have given it up. I know him very well. There's no way. They took oceanfront property and they gave it to people for peace. How did that work out? Not good.
Is the immigration, sorry, Mr. President, is the immigration plan still on the agenda?
Which immigration?
From Gaza. From Gaza.
All it is a concept that I had that I think is good, and now people are copying it. You know, maybe you want to tell. People are talking about the Trump plan. Gee, why don't we do that? Would you like to answer that question?
I think what the president talked about is, first of all, to give people a choice. You know, Gazans were closed in, and any other place, including in arenas of battle. I mean, whether it's Ukraine or Syria or any other place, people could leave.
Who the fuck wants to go to Ukraine, Daddy? Are you kidding me? He doesn't care where they go. They can walk right into the ocean as long as they get the fuck out of his land. Look at him. This little Keebler elf motherfucker. He doesn't give a fuck.
Gaza was the only place where they locked him in. We didn't lock him in.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't me. I didn't lock him in. I just started shooting back.
They're locked in. And what is wrong with giving people a choice? Now, we've been talking, including over lunch, about some countries, I won't go into them right now, that are saying, you know, if Gazans want to
leave... Why won't you go over it right now?
We want to take them in. And I think this is the right thing to do. If you
get them the fuck out of my way.
You know, it's going to take years to rebuild Gaza. In the meantime, people can have an option. The president has a vision. countries are responding to that vision. We're working on it. I hope we'll have good news for you.
I will say, people love, excuse me, people really do love that vision. It's a long-term vision, but so importantly is to have that be a safe field, because you're right smack in the middle of the Middle East. You're right along Israel. It should have never, ever been given away. It shouldn't have been given away by Israel. I don't know why they did it. I mean, I do know why, because they were promised peace, but that didn't work out too well, because it's one of the most dangerous pieces of land anywhere in the world. Gaza is one of the most dangerous places in the world. So they gave it away for good intention, and it didn't work out that way. And a lot of people like my concept, but you know, there are other concepts that I like too. And there are some concepts I don't like. You know what I don't like? The way it is now. Because right now it's a dangerous death trap, Gaza. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. I think it was good on that. There was one more moment where him and the reporter laughed. I guess that reporter that always laughs with him or at him. But I'm not going to wait around for that one thing. Let me see. Which one of those videos was it that you wanted to watch? You sent me like 3.
Yeah, you can watch all 3.
Let's bring in one of those voters who helped give Trump the boost he needed to secure the counties along the southern border. Roel Reyes. Roel, thanks for being with us.
Remember Justin Reyes?
Yeah. This is his dad.
That's his dad.
No, this is too good.
We watched the southern
He's like
border
one of the
of
lead
Texas.
supporters.
You go back
Oh my God.
10 years, that whole southern border, it's all blue, it's all Democrat controlled. What's happened along the southern border? Is it the economy or is it mostly immigration?
Actually, it's both. Mostly the economy. Here in Starr County, most.
That's what it's called, Starr County?
Yeah.
They think the All-Stars are coming out. Star. They think it's a big badge looking at them.
People, you know, they work in the oil field and out in pipeline. But since Biden came in, those jobs just went down the drain. So we're hoping that Trump brings back all those jobs. And the immigration here, it's really bad, you know, illegal immigration. So those 2 issues are very high here in our county.
Well, I've described this for years, since the first day that Biden and Harris took office, that it was an intentional hardship and suffering, be it inflation, the economy, and the open border that was inflicted on the American people, more so in places like where you live. Do you feel like that the Democrats and Kamala Harris, her campaign, they just didn't listen to you or any of the people in your community? They just didn't care.
That's one of the main things that.
You think Trump cares about y'all and this guy?
Nah.
Yeah.
We've been, you know, talking about that. The Democrats actually they just forgot about us and they took our vote for granted. They thought that since we're Hispanic, we were automatically going to vote for a Democrat candidate. I mean, Starr County has been.
I'm not surprised this guy voted for Trump, but I am surprised that he was willing to get on this news thing and advocate for him. You know what I mean? What do you think about that? I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing. I'm just saying I'm surprised he would take his support to that level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to say anything personal because I know this is the homie's dad and stuff, so it's respect. But I'm just saying I'm like I said again, I'm not surprised he voted for Trump, and I'm not even surprised that he would be willing to say that. But I'm surprised he was willing to get on the news and do a whole little segment about it. You know what I mean? Does that surprise you or no?
This was his first ever time coming out.
I know. Does that surprise you or no?
Yeah, it does, because you're really putting yourself out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, especially in the Valley.
I'm surprised he cared about it that much. I'm not surprised he voted for Trump, but I'm surprised that he cared about it enough to like get on TV and like actually do a little 2-minute thing where he had to talk a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. But
Democrat county for over 100 years.
I wonder like what made him, like what motivated him to do it. That's interesting.
I guess I don't know. He's part of like he's like one of the leaders
In
of
the community?
Trump.
Oh, for the Trump
community.
thing.
Yeah.
Is he just like a leader in the community period, or like he just a leader of like the Trump movement?
The most
Yeah, the leader of the Trump movement.
That's sick. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can always ask, Justin, what's up? He can tell you
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. No, I just wanted your perspective. I'm not trying to dig too deep or like, necessarily disrespect anybody. I mean, you know what it's about. It's about like changing minds and ideas and not like attacking the person. So, my dad's a Trump supporter and we talk about it and debate about it too. So, it hits kind of, not that it hits hard, but it hits close to home. I don't know if that was the right, like, the best term to use there, but like, it's familiar to me, but it's not like I don't let it really like. I mean, me and my dad have gotten into some arguments, and it's all good. But anyway, yeah, I just kind of, it's relatable. You know what I mean? A little bit. So anyway, yeah. Let's see what did you have anything else to say about that before we watch this one?
Nah, it's cool.
Yeah. You think your dad would ever get on the news like that?
Fuck no.
That's good.
The most Hispanic county in the United States flipped red to elect Donald Trump on Tuesday. It's the first time Starr County in South Texas has elected a Republican president.
Does that seem weird to you that it's called Starr County?
Nah, I think it's some like Texas shit.
That's real weird. They want you to know it's fucking Texas, bitch. It's like, what are the counties around y'all called? Some like rural Hispanic Mexican shit.
Starr County, and then I forgot what else. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm not too sure.
What the fuck, Joey? Let me look it up.
Counties in South Texas. So STAR stands for South Texas Development. We have Webb County. We've got Hidalgo County.
yeah.
We got Cameron County, Zapata County.
Zapata, Hidalgo.
Zapata.
Cameron's
You know those.
basic, yeah. STAR stands for state what?
Stand against fucking everything county.
Stand against.
Hey boy.
What? No, it's STAR. What is it?
I'm joking. I don't know, Logan. Fuck do I know?
Presidential candidate in more than a century. As of Wednesday, Trump was up over his.
What are your thoughts on people who come across illegally? Like, do you not really care about it, or do you like? What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, they're my people, bro. So like, I mean, I always stand for my people, but so is America. You know. I'm all for people coming over legally.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. When it comes to illegally, there is problems.
Well, here's the thing. What's the like? What is the process to do it legally?
Either go to asylum, which Biden fucked over, or you go to you apply.
And there's like a
legitly.
waiting list or what?
Yeah, you gotta pass like a
test.
test and shit. You know.
Opponent Kamala Harris 58 to 42% in the county, where more than 97% of the population identifies as Hispanic or Latino, according to the 2020 U.S. Census. 61-year-old Patricio Sainz Jr. is a Trump supporter and maintenance worker here. He says Harris and the Democrats overplayed their hand with Latino voters.
I think they took the Latino vote for granted, and they saw through her lies. She got caught too many times lying.
Sainz did
Like Trump hasn't got caught lying.
not elaborate on what he thought Harris had lied about, but he said his support for Trump has also been fueled by concerns about the economy and inflation.
And people have woken up, you know, said,
Oh yeah, people have woken up, all right. They just get pushed from one side to the other, right to left, Republican, Democrat. It's like, okay, you have not woken up one bit, sir.
I said, we go to H-E-B, and we came by a fajita for $2.99 when Trump was there, as opposed now it's anywhere between $8.99 to $10.99. And recently we've been buying and doing the barbecues with nothing but chicken. So we're going to be flying, growing feathers out of our hairs and our ears because that's all we've been eating is chicken.
Sainz celebrated election night at a building.
It's so good.
Yeah, and that was
Downtown Rio.
like a big thing.
What, the food?
Just
Or
what
him
that dude said right there.
Specifically saying that was funny.
Yeah, like everybody was like, "What the fuck?" Everybody from my hometown talked about it.
Really?
Justin brought it up. He's the one that showed me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Grand City.
Him and his
Sainz friend.
his dad also was part of that. Like he helped him get the interview. I passed by that guy's store like every fucking day.
Huh.
He's a mechanic and he has a fucking taco stand out his shop.
They needed Trump to win, right? It's so crooked.
Friend Ross Barrera holds local Republican meetings here. The retired military veteran explained
These three think they're getting something done with all the talk, right? Yeah, Trump's for us. Yes. It's like, no, you don't get it, dude.
Trump's appeal to his community.
Drinking the Miller Lights. I mean, they think they're some sophisticated men.
He's very frank. He's not a politician that tells you what you want to hear.
Yeah, right. What did he say whenever he almost got shot? Fight, 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 go America. Woo! That's not what you want to hear at all, is it?
Yeah, he's a little bit off base, but guess what? We're not voting for a Jesus Christ. We're not voting for somebody that's a saint.
Why would you even bring that up? It's like they have to bring up the most opposite of, like, they have to bring up the best case. Like, oh, we're not voting for the best person ever. It's like, why do you have to take it to such an extreme to make Trump look even somewhat good? Like, you have to, it's like he has to go to an extreme to compare Trump to, because if you compare him to a normal person, he seems like a crazy motherfucker. He's like, we're not trying to get to Jesus. We just need something. It's like, yeah, but he's definitely not Jesus. He's like, I mean, come on, dude. He's not even like a real human. He's not even comparable to you.
There doesn't exist. The guy has his flaws. He's human.
Man, but aren't we supposed to work to make ourselves better and try to be like becoming better? Trump doesn't try to become better. He's just like, yeah, I don't know.
He's made some mistakes, but we like the idea that he's a business guy.
For the past 2 months, Barrera and other Republicans have organized so-called Trump trains, or caravans of vehicles parading through the streets in support of their candidate. Professional photographer Roel.
Look at that. No blood on his hand or on his sleeve at all. With his fake as fuck assassination.
Reyes took part.
I would say out of 50 cars that hung at us.
Oh, there he is again.
We'll probably get one or two that
people like fucking hate these people, like hate them and shit.
Yeah.
Negative reaction. All the rest are, thumbs up, positive reaction. So that's when we saw that, we knew that we were gonna get a red county this time. So yeah.
Starr County is located in the Rio Grande Valley near the U.S.-Mexico border. Reyes says another reason he chose to support Trump was due to concerns about border security.
The river's about half a mile down the road, and we see people, crossing all over the place, and that worries us because sometimes we have to be on the lookout at home. Sometimes you don't even feel safe, because of the people that are crossing. I've had people go through my yard,
Trump's success in Starr County underscores the boost he received from Latino voters across the country. Compared to the 2020 election, Trump scored a 14 percentage point increase in his share of Hispanic voters nationally. according to an exit poll conducted by Edison Research.
Huh. Well, that's super interesting. I think there's one more. This one looks like part of
Yeah,
the
I think
same.
it's the same.
Is it
Yeah, I
the
think
same
it's the
one?
same video.
I
yeah.
think they took the Latino vote for granted, and they saw through her lies. She got caught too many times lying, and people have woken up, you know, and said,
We're gonna
People
turn
woke
into
up all
chickens,
right.
baby.
Oh man, people woken up all right. They know the truth
You're gonna turn
now.
into a. You're gonna turn into a fucking chicken, baby.
Trump, he's gonna save us. He's gonna do what's good for us. We finally figured out the truth. We woke up. Get real. Oh man, when are people gonna learn, dude? Only when it's too fucking late. Oh man. Well, what do I know? Like I know everything and I'm the one who knows what's best. Well, I'm definitely not gonna believe in some bullshit. So, what do you think? You got any I mean, from your point of view, what are your thoughts on Trump?
He's our president.
Well, no shit.
I don't know, man. It's Trump.
Donald Trump, you're president. That's what Willie D always says.
I don't know, man. I just.
Well, do you believe him? Do you think he is like basically here's the rundown on Trump. He's not a career politician, so he's an outsider and a rebel to the system. He's doing what's best for the everyday man and for the small guy, and he's gonna make America great again. Do you believe those things to be pretty much true overall, or do you think that's kind of hokey pokey bullshit?
Do I think he's going to save the world? No. Do I think he's going to make it a better place? Possibly.
So
Am I worried
you're
about
drinking the
World War
Kool-Aid a
III?
little bit.
Yeah, I drink coffee.
I mean, he's a puppet. You don't see that?
By the Republican Party. Like
By
they
the
control
system
him.
as at large. You don't see that? He's just an agent of chaos.
He's an agent of chaos.
It's like the Little Rascals spanking alfalfa, and he's just being a fucking he's just a character. I don't know. You really think he's gonna wants to make America good and save us and shit like that? Like, what about him says that he really cares about the everyday man? Why would he care about us? He's not one of us. He's been rich his whole fucking life. His dad was fucking rich. Like he's like he's been rich his whole life. He's never worked a job. He married a couple different supermodels. Who do you know that's like that? Like it's just he's not like any of us. And like Trump, he's a businessman, but maybe, but even the kind of business deals he's made where you're buying a large real estate with millions of dollars and then you never even see it a lot of times and you just have someone managing it for you and you're just wheeling and dealing with the money side. No businessmen that we know or would resonate with do business like that. Like all people we know that are businessmen and entrepreneurs, they're actually working in the trade they're working at, and then maybe they get up to where they're not working anymore, but that takes a large portion of their life to where they finally get to that, and then it's like a reward. It's like, okay, I did my trade or my craft or my profession for however many years, and then after that, maybe now I'm just the one overseeing things and I have a bunch of people working for me, but it usually takes someone years to get to that point, and it's like a reward by the time they get there. But Trump, he just had all the rewards up front. He's been rich his whole life. He's only done these money deals with it's all numbers to him. None of it means anything. Where if you work your way up, it all means more because you have time and your whole life invested. He's not that kind of businessman where you did the profession and then you work up and you earn something. He's just been rich. He doesn't have to earn anything. And then he has all this attention on him all the time, and he loves the attention. I mean, that's obvious to anyone. He loves the attention. Is that the kind of person that is really good to lead us? Like, the best leaders are like sometimes, I mean, they need to be courageous, but they need to be like have a certain amount of humility, or people don't want to follow them. It's like all the great leaders are willing to do like the hard thing, or like have some sort of humility, or like fight alongside their people or whatever. But he's just like a coward. He doesn't want to fight. He's never gotten his hands dirty, or like in a good type of way, or like worked hard for something, or had to be a team player. All the things we really actually like, he doesn't do those things. Like, he's good on TV, but he's not. If he was in Starr County in your community, people would hate that motherfucker. They'd be like, oh, that's that rich white motherfucker that owns everything and like has the cops bought and paid for and just buys up land when it forecloses, and his kids are jackasses. Like, y'all would hate that guy. But because he's on TV, it's like, oh, he's Trump. It's like, dude, he's a loser. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not the kind of person you actually want to be friends with or want to be like.
Yeah.
He just keeps opening the vagina with his hands. Yeah, everything's going to be great. I'm amazing. Deal, tariff. Maybe I'll, like, no, they're not going anywhere. And then 2 days later, they're gone. It's just like, dude, you're full of shit. And I'm not, like, a Trump, like, total hater, but, like, both sides are all bullshit. It's just like, come on, dude. He's not a good person. He doesn't, and it's not about him being a good person, but you have to think about, okay, does he have our best interest at heart? If you say yes, then you have to believe that he's a good person. And I'm just listing out all the reasons why I don't think he is. So he's never worked hard for anything. He's, you know, he's braggadocious. He loves attention on him. You know, I don't know. So I just, there's probably other stuff I can think of too, but it's just, I wish people would just give it up and move on. Like, we could actually start solving some problems, but everyone just like thinks that they could vote for someone and they're gonna do it. It's like, it's never gonna cut it. The people that get in there are all crooked.
Yeah, we gotta fix things.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but I know Trump's not a freaking, like, what people think he is. And it's, you know, people that know the channel know me. It's not all about like me hating Trump. Like, I'm just going at him right now because he's who's in right now, and there's all these things that I have on my mind about him. But like, I dish it out to the left just as equally, and like, they're retarded too. So I definitely am not an advocate for either side. But I don't know. You have anything you want to say about that, or any final thoughts?
Do I have anything to say about that or final thoughts? You know what, guys? Just make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, comment down below.
We're going to
Let us know what you want
Mars.
us- Going to space. Space is real. Dinosaurs are real. Trump is our best
Trump is
president
real.
ever. He has hand movements. Yep. Mr. Joe Games. Joy Flex. We out. Peace.
All right, I wasn't necessarily trying to end it off quite like that, but I guess we can go ahead and end it off. Appreciate y'all tuning in. If you see the stream or the rebroadcast, y'all check out the Gastronaut by G Dollar. Y'all go ahead and check out the Tap In podcast as well. They do live streams Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. A bunch of good Austin, organic, local, mostly hip hop, but other stuff too, but mostly hip hop music. And there's dope people. G Dollar's on there. Prestige is on there. Joe D's on there. The whole Winter Circle crew. A bunch of other Austin artists. So go check that out. And yeah, hopefully I'll be with another stream soon. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate Mr. Joe Games for coming on tonight. Listen to me rants as always, giving his opinions and giving me some topics and stuff. Appreciate that. And y'all go check out his channel. I'm sure he's gonna have more playthroughs coming soon. He's been focusing on the Minecraft lately. I know y'all been enjoying that. The shorts and everything been popping off. So y'all go subscribe, check out his channel, and hopefully I'll be back soon with another stream. I appreciate y'all, and I'm out.